here is we put a stake for where the first bed is going to go inside of the path. There's going to be we'll put a fence where that stake is around, and there'll be a path. So then we marked out the bed is 30, and then we did a space of 45, and then we did 30, 45s all the way down for 100 feet.
Right. And then measured what on this way? Would it be measured?
So we did 45 feet across. We are going to do just under 26 feet to where the irrigation system is, to have another path, and we'll do just under 19 feet from that edge back to the irrigation system. The irrigation system is basically right under this path here. What I'll do is make this part of my path through the garden, and so that way we can leave the pipes without having any issues on that. And then Dan will be able to go and determine what needs tall sprinklers, which will likely be over on this side because we're going to be doing corn and taller crops. We're also midway down the path going to be building a trellis over the path, so the taller sprinkler system will help with that as well. Over here, I am going to do differing crops, obviously, but then there's going to be focal points in between, such as I'm going to build up an herb box in the middle of one of those, and I will do every other row likely, or every 3 rows, in order to do crop rotation, and until we're able to identify exactly how much food we're going to grow, because I have a feeling that right now we got a lot of space.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure.
4,500 square feet we've measured, right?
Yeah. Well,
So how many boxes do we have? I mean, how many rows do we actually have here? I X'd them.
Yeah.
Let's just count and see what we have relative to the plan.
Yeah. Right now we got 10 that we actually marked, plus all the space down here, which may just be grass area
Right.
for the time being for crop
And
rotation.
just by incident, how many did you have on your piece of paper?
So on my
Like, how many rows did you actually
initial
have?
drawing, I had with an herb box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, 12, and we still have certainly another 5 boxes, so that's good extra space that we would not use. Certainly not the first or second year, but we start rotating crops at that point. So that's good. I mean, that's yours about spot on.
Yeah. And then I was going to build up an herb box more in the shallow area right here, so we can move that down a little bit. I
Yep.
want to just build it up, and then the path will come up through there. So, hey,
No, he was by himself.
did you get snapped by the mouse, Sean?
All right, guys, so as you heard yesterday when Elle was explaining the layout of the rows, so 30-inch rows. I can't remember which one of the YouTubers laid it out. It was actually pretty interesting. So I think it was something about the traditional row, I believe was like 15 inches, but there was a guy who I really thought was pretty creative. He said 30 inches because you could reach from either side, from the path on either side. Then we sort of decided on, I think it was, originally we said 45, I think it came out to be 46-inch paths in between. We have quite a bit of land. I mean, it's 0.69, I believe, of an acre. Now, of course, that doesn't include, the she shed and the grow house. It doesn't include, the path that's going to come down, sort of meander down through here. It doesn't include some of those things, but that's a pretty good sized piece of property for people who are just starting out. So what Elle is doing now is she's taking the actual dimensions that we did here, and then she's going to lay out these rows as well as the pass in between them. And then I am going to come in, and I did leave access points, of course, that they've sort of filled in, but they'll be, this right here is actually an access point. It'll be easy to dig right down to get to it. Anyway, the short of it is that I will then put irrigation pipes either for sprinklers or for drip systems, depending on what her requirement is, through here. So that's the theory. Now, the other thing, it'd be interesting to get some comments on. I mean, I'm not looking to get a degree in theology of permaculture, but we are trying to integrate permaculture, concepts here. So we're using the rainwater as our primary irrigation system. Okay, so it's just after Thanksgiving, and we've just dug this up. Now, what did we use? We used a box blade with, I've seen 1,000 terms for them. Anyway, trenchers, diggers, whatever, using those. Why? Because the concept, as I sort of appreciate the permaculture concept, is, to disturb the soil as little as possible. But this has been cattle country for like the last 100 years. So you need to break up the compaction of the soil. But I didn't want to use a rototiller and, kill all the, ecology and earthworms and everything. So this is sort of less, I believe, less detrimental to this microbiology or ecosystem. Remember, we're not going to actually do anything with this until spring of 2022. Okay, because that's when we're going to be here full time. So what we thought we'd do is sort of soften this up, loosen it up, and take advantage of the fact that we do have this window. Then come early spring, when the grass would start to grow again, that's when we'll put down the cardboard just on the rows. In the meantime, we're cutting down a bunch of trees, so we're going to chip those up, and that's what we're going to use as the pass. Is that logical? It seems logical to us because it's like, okay, we're tearing the grass up, and then the grass isn't immediately trying to grow again because it's winter. And then when it does start to try to get its act together, we'll already have the cardboard down in those areas to make sure that there's no light to that grass, at least there. And then we would sort of mulch with heavy chips. And then as it starts to come through, or weeds start to come through, we have the opportunity over the course of next year to burn that, or to otherwise pull them up or whatever, so that when we get done by the spring of 22, we're hoping to have, a lot of the pests and weeds abated. That's the theory. So again, the concept for you guys who have done this before, I would love to get some comments about what your thoughts are, and like moving forward, how we might take what we have and sort of position ourselves for the greatest opportunity for success. So we'd love for you to subscribe if you'd like to see this whole property sort of transform from a piece of property into a homestead. Like I said, house build, solar array, pond, ducks, fish near the orchard. Ducks are going to support the pest control in the orchard. Then we're going to have along all of this area, this raised ground you can see there, we're going to use regenerative farming practices with sheep and chickens. Of course, water's an issue. That's something we're going to have to try to figure out about how we manage the water. We're probably going to have, is it ICB, ICS, can never get that acronym right, for the water totes. Again, not a religion of regenerative farming, but trying to do that so that we just basically mow all of this ground. As you well know from what you've already seen me do, is really problematic because it's so steep. So why not keep rotating animals all the way around this property? It would probably be about 30 days to get all the way around this property. And then in those 30 days, the grass that grows here, Kentucky 31 and everything, is great because they managed that for so long for the livestock that they had on the property. Anyway, that's the other piece of this. And then this hopefully will be a market garden as we grow it out. But we understand that, you know, you bite off too big of a chunk and then you fail. And, you know, we're going to try not to do that. So, all right. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. And we'll be back at you.